All right, so here we are in the reading, and I'm going to read this part real quickly for those of you who didn't get to hear it earlier because my video was slightly interrupted. And then I thought, well, let me just change it up. After I read this, let me read something different. So here we go. My Fight, which is found in The Flat Galaxy of Paper and Space, First House, A Story of a Simulated Universe by Dizzy and D, aka Heather. Here we go. My Fight, which is not even in Section 0. It is before Section 0 and the First House. Stillness among my breath as I found air that was not there within a flat universe of simulated paper. Quiet everything was except for me, who frantically gasped at the air that was not there. I tried to capture within me. Nothing was there, even if it seemed to be. I had escaped. Did I make it? My heart was still pounding in my chest. Strange, here I am. I choose to be here. I went running in, but I did not understand it. I felt I had no choice. I did not know what I was choosing. Anything was better than there. I guess we all get that way. Problems add up like garbage at the dump. I want to trash. It was past time for the world to take the trash out. I guess we all had to pay the price. It did not matter where I was at. I could not go back. This was my only option. I could still hear danger in my mind, yet I knew it was just a trick of the shadow that sat within the quietness of nothing. My back was tense. I was not sure if I could relax. I tried to catch my breath as I leaned forward, grabbing my stomach in a loving embrace. I was lucky to be alive, but now was I dead. All right, so that was the chapter called My Fight. And now I'm going to read this other chapter in part 0. It's Butterfly on Wall. I really love the Butterfly on Wall. And I guess that's why it is the next selection I am choosing to read, because I don't know, it really speaks to me if I can find it. Let me see. Oh. Why is it so hard to find the one I want? Why is it so hard? I don't know why it's so hard. I have found it. Yay. Butterfly on Wall. As Jason floated down the river, he dreamed he was a butterfly. As the weight of the barrel shifted, he imagined himself flying through a keyhole. He saw a man sitting at a desk in a black room. But was this a man? His white trash overfilled with takeout that was taken out yet never removed. He landed on the black, dark wall just before being taken away in a breeze by a robot, slinging a door open with the violent beeping of an alarm, screeching, "It is past time, Mr. Day." The butterfly fluttered through the door before it shut. He felt the robot under him. He casually landed on the robot as it wheeled its way back to the headquarters of the spaceship. It wheeled its wheels through the small hallways leading to the cockpit. "Boss, it is done." The boss looked up and whispered, "I have already got it taken care of. Plan to start a little bit behind schedule." The butterfly landed on the boss. He quickly formed a jar with a lid around it, encaging the butterfly as it flapped its wings. Jason woke up startled as he found himself still encased in the empty whiskey barrel. Yet unlike most dreams, this dream stayed with him. At least he was a human trapped in a barrel, which had been cast aside, instead of a butterfly in a jar. Yet regardless of how Jelson felt about his situation, he knew that his life had made a turn for the better. He had emotions now. He could feel emotions again. That was all that mattered to him. All right, and then the next chapter would be Jason's Space Action Star, which is also about that, but we're going to read My Old Life. My Old Life, which is right past that. We have Butterfly on Wall, then we have Jason's Space Action Star, and then we have My Old Life. Dark skies and filthy streets had tormented my real-world experience. I had seen the rain as a blessing during my escape. It had given me much-needed coverage to hide my form from imminent danger's eyes. Yet the mud stuck to me like I was its only means to get off the planet. Was I okay? Was I safe? The space of pure black canvas reminded me of my old life. The space was shockingly white. As I slowly focused back on my breathing, slightly choking due to the post-traumatic stress that was encased in the lack of color within my environment. At first it was dark and black, and then it was bright and white. I quickly covered my loud cough in the silent, sterile, white, high-tech environment. I sat down gently, afraid and distracted. The air drastically changed and became moist, as if a window to a lovely morning dew meadow was hidden near me. I glanced down at my skin. The myriads of spots comforted me because it allowed me to believe I was still alive. My freckles, my precious spots, how I love thee, and how they truly did make me feel alive. He came into the room without me knowing. I turned around in fright. He said, "Oh, it's you. Welcome to this flat galaxy." His ears stood out in my mind, yet he gave me no name. I figured it was for the best, because I had never been good with names. And now I continue on to my name, which is a whole nother chapter. Here we go. I hated that I was never good at names, but he seemed preoccupied with work. His strange ears being ridiculously pointed and triangularly made me extremely curious. Yet I dared not ask. I was lucky to be alive. At least I hoped I was still alive. If only I had known to keep quiet. Quietness might have served me better. Yet I found the energy to talk, regretting it as soon as it came out. He noticed me and spoke first. Yet why did I have to ask a question? It was like most things in life for me. It was something small. A small, insignificant question that was not needed. Well, it got turned into something big. I'm still struggling to understand its meaning. Yet this reaction spoke more than words could ever say. It was uncomfortable. The whole ordeal had unraveled me. It sent my mind spinning with worry. All I said was a few words, but that is how my life is. I'm just left to pick up the pieces. How these strange pieces of information I was not sure if I even wanted to put together. Hold on one second. I'm going to read My Deception. My Deception. And those of you who don't know what deception is, that means when you portray something that isn't so. All right, so here we go. My Deception. I asked casually, "What is your purpose here?" I felt vulnerable as he stopped in mid-action. As he turned, I could see concern within his facial structure. In a matter of a moment, he invaded my personal space. What do you know? Has someone told you something? He edged closer as I leaned back in the white chair within the white room, prepared to run. I have been running for a while. Why stop now? His flat nose breathed in deeply as my heart raced even faster in the moment of my daring escape. He smiled and asked, "What is my purpose?" Miss Circle, from my understanding, you need a new purpose. Your purpose has been ripped from you, stolen in the night it was. Now that you have awakened into the blank canvas, you now stand, choking on your past like it's a sickness. Woe is you, the one not able to create change. The inability to make a difference, a person who suffers from regret. How can you still see them? Do you relive them? Do you want help with that? I can erase all those memories. You would not remember a thing. All I need is your permission. Let me help you shed off some of that weight. I can help you. I want what is best for you, my dear. My heart was beating fast as I noticed his claw-like hand gesture. My past makes me who I am. I don't need to remove my spots for my record, and I do not know you. This statement seemed to put him at ease as he backed away, allowing me to regain my personal space. I noticed he had a lion's tail as he retreated to his work. What was this creature? You call me Miss Circle. He turned to face me in the distance, relieved of all worry. Would you rather me call you Heather? I knew at that moment I had tricked him. As our eyes met, I simulated his carefree smile. I'm just happy to be here. I'm a little shaken up by the whole ordeal. I bet so. How bad was it? Okay, now let me see if I can find the next one within this, because there's a couple of them. Let me see here. I think I'm coming up on it. I'm just passing the cages in the dream into the life of the dead. Mr. Wolf. Where? Let's see here. Oh, yes. My process, which is close to almost the end of the book, which I will do in a small thing, a little small short, instead of a long video of. Okay, my process. I threw myself on the couch without much thought as I looked at the man who had the same color hair as me. His coloring gave me comfort. A world had hated, feared, or misunderstood us based on the primitive instinct of color. Yet here we found ourselves tossed together in this new adventure, seeing someone who had a similar freckle pattern in a world of unknown gave me the calmness I had desired from the moment I entered the illusion of space. He smiled as his glasses revealed his feminine features. My name is Mr. Day. Please don't mind the mess. Thank you for accepting responsibility for row 30 of 4. Your service is greatly appreciated. I know the participation will be grateful for your leadership once the dust settles. No need to sit up, just relax. I know it must have had a miserable life. All of that is over. If this peace you have found consumes you, we have a brutal dose of icy, historical accurate pain that you can self-induce by accepting placement on the flats. I can sign you up now for it if you like. Mr. Day, I am not requesting pain. I do want peace. Peace is all I ever wanted. Zim has indicated that you want to be called by Heather. Please be aware that your main profile's heading is labeled Miss Circle. Yeah, Zim made me aware of that earlier, I said, as I realized he has been fooled too. At that moment, I decided to feed into the deception. Why a circle? Mr. Day laughed slightly, showing a girlish glee. I wouldn't worry about that. The important thing is that you are safe. All right, so that was called My Process, and it was the chapter right preceding almost the end of the book. And then I come back here, and I think I have one more to read. Let me see. Oh, I'm only going to read a portion of this because this is one of the most beautiful chapters ever. So I'm only going to read 3 paragraphs of this last one. It's something really beautiful about this song. And it's called My Song. And it's a chapter. It's really beautiful. And I really love how I put it together. I contemplated which direction I should go, which item to pick, and why had I laughed without doing what was asked. I was not even sure if I could go back. Retracing my steps or finding a way to anywhere proved difficult. I was lost among clocks, none of which gave me the proper time. What was this collection? Did it belong to someone? How pointless a clock felt to me. I had spent my life chasing after time and watching the clock. The days turned into months, which caused me to long for a calendar, a luxury I had no access to. I had spent my time amongst the struggling horde of workers who no longer had. They had nothing regardless of how hard they worked. None of them even wanted to admit their lack of purpose. They were fed their purpose by groups that had varied interests, yet none of these groups valued the workforce. People on the top just fell further than the tower of success crumbled. Each would have blamed the other if they had lived. And that's the beginning of what ends up for me as this just remarkable chapter right here that is right at the end of this here book, Flat Galaxy, and it's called My Song. I think I will read one more paragraph. As for me, I sat in my depressive stupor, longing to have been more. I had dreams of another day. I thought I would see a sky with stars. I thought one day, just maybe, I could explore an area unharmed by man. I thought I would live long enough for my moment in the sun to touch a tree and feel its satin leaves. My regret is not that I gave up. I never allowed myself that. I regret trading in my laughter for a heart full of ice. How frozen I felt in this artificial world that lacked real light. They promised me light. There was no light anywhere, just the illusion of such. I sat in the orange halls that led into themselves. I cannot go on like this without form. I have no substance. I am lost. How can I lead anyone when I do not know the way? Maybe the song I should sing is to God. I think He wants me here. I think He needs me here. He is my true employer. I'm the being they call circle. I will have to carry on like a shadow stretching across the wall. My universe is gone. Once more I have no home. Once more I was in an enclosure for my protection. Once more they glimpsed a glimmer of my true intentions. Yet in the stillness of the orange halls I curled up on the floor. I dreamt of a red tree. I was the tree. And in my dream, I asked God what He wanted from me. I asked God if this was what He had planned. Like most times, He turned around like a reflection. The reflection was clear, yet I had no answer. I did not know what I wanted from myself, or if this was my plan all along. Had I always considered this a last resort? In my dream, I started running, but I was not sure what I was running to. I just wanted God to take me. He had taken all the others. Was I not good enough? He had always made my space a home. I felt lost without Him. He had always been my light. I never needed those stars. All I needed was Him. And I'm going to stop right there because I could go on because I really love this chapter. And it's almost the last chapter, and after that, chapter the song, which I'm not finishing, which is just so beautiful. It says the next chapter is the end of the first house. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, that I read some chapters in this book, but we will be going on to the next book here shortly, which is not going to be number 2 of the house series. It is actually going to be, wait for it. This one. Let me adjust it a little bit. Alright, Price of Paper in Space. First chair in a series of chair, Dizzy and Dee. And this is the book we'll be going into. This one right here. For our next read. Yes, we're going to be doing both number 1s, just reading a little bit at a time. Maybe we'll come back to some other chapters. And I will post another video of an in-depth discussion of what we just read, which were some of the first-person narratives within this book right here. The Flat Galaxy book, The First House. And I just got my version of this back, the other chair, which is the red book. And I have some misspellings in it already. And this is actually published underneath my other name, which is my real name. So that's kind of exciting. And I'm really excited to see where it goes from here with this book right here. I've really enjoyed writing these books. I've really enjoyed doing these books. Someone asked me recently, what's the moral to this story right here? And there's lots of morals to the story right here. But I think the main thing to take note in is that even in a simulated universe, is it real? Even in a place like this where you question everything about your reality, God still exists. And even for these robots that, God didn't make, these robots even have to deal with the fact that, God is real. And God is beyond all of that. And that's the whole purpose behind this. Is that some of these things that we dwell on, if we found out tomorrow that it was fake, that it was a rouge. It's a word from one of our previous videos where we went on an adventure with Anne. We found out that life was not what we thought it was. Still don't change the fact that God exists. That's the whole moral behind these stories. And this whole complicated, simulated universe of a flat galaxy. Paper in Space. First house. All right. Thank you guys and have a wonderful day.